Hi, I'm Jan from Crafty Jan's. Today we're going to make a wind spinner. This is our wind spinner. So let's make it so.
We are going to be working on a wind spinner. So first step is to open up our file, and we will be bringing in the template that we'll be using. And there is our template. The next step is to bring in a photo of what we want to put on the wind spinner. We are selecting a gnome photograph today, and here is our little guy. Now, he is much larger than what he needs to be to match up to our template. The size of the template that we're using is 8.05 inches, and we want him to go into that file perfectly, and he does. He's just the right size. I'm going to delete the template now because the photo is exactly the size that we want it to be. Now, because of the colors and I don't want to lose the really nice background, I am going to take and do something just a little bit different. I am going to duplicate the photo, and the center of my wind spinner is actually 5 inches round, so I'm going to change the size to 5 inches, and then I'm going to bring it in and overlay on the very center. This way I get multiple colors, but then I also have our little gnome in the center. My next step is to center the circle within the circle, and this is what we've got. Now I'm going to group the photos, and that will keep everything together. And now when I move the picture, it all moves together. Again, I'm going to center it to our page, hit center, and because I don't want to lose this, I am going to save it in my file, and we're going to type a name here, and we're just going to call it Rose Gnome Wind Spinner, and it will be saved as a Studio 3 file. The next step will be to actually send it to the printer. So we will do this. Now it takes a little bit of time before the print actually comes out, and we're going to select, because I've got a Sawgrass SG-1000, we're going to be using the Sawgrass Print Manager to print this. So I select that, select Print, and now it will go to Print Manager and Process. We have to wait a few seconds before that pops up, but when it does, we will be able to see it, and there it has gone to Print Manager. And we'll bring that screen up. Since it's going to be on a metal wind spinner, metal is perfect for this. We're going to be printing from tray 1. We're going to mirror the image. So what it's going to do is flip it around in the opposite direction, and we're going to send it to the printer. And that is all that we have to do. So we are done. Next step will be to see it come off of the printer.
The designs have been taken off of the printer, and the next step is to start getting it ready and prepped for the heat press. Okay, the first step is to put paper down to protect the platen, the lower platen. This is the spinner with the design taped on. Carefully place it in there. And then we cover sheet to protect the upper platen from the ink. We'll slide it in. We've already set for 379 or 380 degrees for printing. Our time is 80 seconds, and now we're going to pull the handle down and press. We open up the press, very carefully slide out the platen. Using our heat gloves, very carefully remove the cover sheet that was protecting our upper platen, and we open up, and here's our first side.
The spinner has been printed on both sides, and it is now ready to start opening it up. To begin the process, start by holding the center lower edge or the upper top edge of the spinner with one hand, and with the other hand gently pull the inner circles forward, and the small circles will start to shift also. You will want to take and move these about 80 to 90 degrees. As we're adjusting the fins of the spinner, we will want them to be about 1.5 inches apart. So slowly working your way through, you can begin moving the fins or the circles very gently until you get them positioned in the way that you like. The recommended spacing between the fins or the circles is about 1.5 inches, but you can adjust them to your liking. It does take some patience to move the circles the way you want them to be, but the result is stunning. So you can start turning it and see where you need to maybe make some additional adjustments.
Here is the finished wind spinner. You can purchase your wind spinner at Crafty Jan's. Follow the link below.